Hey, welcome into the Mystery Fifth Hour. It's presented every single week by McCurry Van and Car Rental. You would think I would have this committed to memory by now.
No, not yet. You gotta focus on it.
It's only once a week.
It's only once a week for I don't know how long McCurry's been with us, but we appreciate you guys supporting them. If you need a car, van, or truck rent from McCurry Van and Car Rental, the local rental company you can depend on. All kinds of vehicles to choose from, including trucks, SUVs, and passenger vans. They make it super easy to rent. Get you in and out fast. They got locations in Athens, Muscle Shoals, Huntsville, and right there in Coleman on 2nd Avenue Northwest. Call and reserve your rental today, 256-559-1003 or McCurryRentals.com. That is McCurryRentals.com. That gentleman over there in the transparent shorts is Jim Dunaway. If you watched our live show on the day we taped this, Jim is wearing white shorts that he purchased at the local golf superstore.
I think that camera could focus on them better this time.
It is a known brand, yet they are a little thin.
Thick pockets.
Yeah.
That's true. That's the only thing that's protecting us from seeing everything, from seeing Christmas, as my grandma used to say.
Yeah, I brought that into my family too. When you taught me that back in the day.
My grandma used to
Does that come from the, what do you call it, that you hang over?
the mistletoe.
Yeah, mistletoe.
I don't know if it's what it comes from, but it was
Christmas tree has the little balls you hang.
Well, yeah, it was referenced more to girls that wore a skirt that was too short, either up top or down low, and you would say if she crosses her legs wearing that thing, you're going to see Christmas.
Yeah, no, we brought that to my family early on.
That's my name.
My daughter even still references it, but there was, early on when we'd go to church, make sure you keep your legs crossed. You don't want anybody to see Christmas.
Yeah.
And it became so much so that when she fell one time in her college years, and she's like, "Dad, I slipped on the cobblestone and I went rolling down the hill a little bit, and I'm sure everyone saw Christmas."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh wow."
Yeah, I think the reference is that used to be like your Christmas gifts.
Yeah.
Like if you got up too early, you would see Christmas.
I got busted for that one year.
Oh, did you? Oh, I did too.
My sister had awoken me. This is probably if we had to go to bed like at 10 on Christmas Eve, we woke up at midnight, and she woke me up and said, "Hey, Santa already came." And we went downstairs, and I had like Masters of the Universe everywhere. Like every He-Man, I was so excited, so I started to play with it. Just trying to be quiet. And then I think my mom or my dad walked in. They were pissed.
What time was it?
It was probably midnight, but I was like, "Why are y'all still up?" But they banished us to the basement. They were so upset. Like, you can't be doing this, and like you have to learn your lessons. So me and my sister had to sit in the nasty, scary ass basement for like an hour till we learned our lesson, and then we had to come back up. And then
Did it scare you?
It scared the shit out of me.
So did you have to go back to bed, or you just
Went to the basement for about an hour, and then I don't know if they had to finish setting things up. Like, Santa's not done yet. He's taking a piss. Then we were in the basement.
Was the old man drinking plum wine?
He did get a bottle. I saw him Sunday. He said, "I actually went to the grocery store and they had a bottle of plum wine." I was like, "That is awesome." Plum wine is what they called it at the restaurant.
Chances a good chance somebody was under the mistletoe, had to take a break.
Oh wow. Jeez, we see their Christmas. But no, it was a great Christmas. I got to play with I had to wait another 6 hours before I got to play with He-Man and everything.
So that traumatized individual is Rockstar. His name
wasn't
is Sean.
traumatizing. I've had a lot worse.
Sean Henniger, we call him Rockstar. I'm Ryan Brown. That is Lance Taylor. In the Southern Cal dunks.
Yeah, it's funny. These dunks are USC. So I've got true USC color dunks,
Right.
which aren't considered USC dunks. These are the USC dunks, and the only yellow you get is on the tongue and on the back heel.
Yeah, I noticed. I was walking to the restroom behind you earlier, and I noticed the gold Nike on the back heel, and I'm like, I guess those are USC dunks he's wearing.
Yeah, but you would think the others would be more USC because they're true USC colors.
You know, if they really wanted to go USC on those dunks, they would have done the Nike swoosh in gold. And you would just have the garnet outline and the swoosh is gold, and they would really look USC.
Yeah, but have you ever seen my garnet and gold that I've got?
I have, yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I've got legitimate just garnet and gold.
Interesting.
No white.
All right, so today on the Mystery Fifth Hour, and we thank you for joining us on YouTube. Give us a thumbs up, please. Please give us that little thumbs up there on YouTube. And if you have not already subscribed, it's red hot right now. Make sure you subscribe and set your alerts so you know when we're live. We're live every single day, 9 to 1 every single weekday, but we do a lot of specialty shows like this one that are live. You get alerts if you set those alerts, and follow us on all social media at Next Round Live. I introduced the traumatized Rockstar earlier. He is going to start us off today.
Have you ever seen a movie that turns out bad, just a poorly executed movie that was a great concept, not a great concept, but something that another director could have made magic with, or another actor could have brought it if they just gave it to the right hands. And the one I came up with, and they made a ton of these, but this is one of the first ones, was Time Cop. Anybody remember Time Cop?
Oh yeah,
Jean-Claude Van Damme was pretty much Minority Reports, where
Right.
he goes back in time to prevent crimes. But of course, he's an action star, and he just kicks ass the whole time and does the splits. But I think if somebody else had that, where you had a police force that was only time travel to prevent crimes in a more serious way instead of just being an action movie, I think it could have been really, really good. That's what I always think of. Like, such a cool concept, but terrible that it's Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah, like if you would have had like Mel Gibson back there.
Because
as Time
it's
Cop.
essentially Minority Report, but Minority Report came out, what, 99? And this was in 94. So maybe Spielberg took it from Time Cop. But I thought it was a really cool
Who
concept.
directed Time Cop?
I don't
random.
know. I mean, I think Ron Silver was the, what's his name? Ron Silver was
Ron
the bad
Silver.
guy. Mia Sara was his wife from Ferris Bueller,
Yeah.
Sloane. But it's a bad movie, but I just thought it was really cool.
So a couple that I've never go ahead.
Mine's not a bad movie.
Mine's actually a famous movie.
It's actually a good movie that I really wanted to be like a tad better, and part of it's your fault. Remember when we started getting on our radio days? I think every step along the way, LT took us once upon a time in Hollywood. Like, they've come up with the concept. They've written it now. We've got it. We've got an ending.
It seemed like it took 15
They're
years. to
doing
make that.
casting now. They're hiring extras every
You were
step
fired
of the
up
way.
about that movie.
You were fired up about it.
I
It
just watched it again last week. I love it.
was a good movie.
Great movie.
But it could have been better. It could have been better.
The only way it could have been better if they take the Margot Robbie part out.
Oh, rarely do you say that line.
Yeah, and so she was Sharon Tate, and obviously it was about the Manson murders
Right.
and how Tarantino, with his creativity and his weird mind, gave it a Hollywood ending as opposed to her having a baby cut out of her.
Right.
But I just didn't know, I didn't understand the dynamic on, we really want to see the background of like Sharon Tate like dating and Sharon Tate going to a movie to see herself. I think they could have cut that out. Could have added a little more Brad Pitt. He won Best Supporting Actor for that, but I still thought it was a fantastic movie. That's the only thing I would have done differently.
Are you a Tarantino guy? Because I am not.
Yeah. I mean, I don't hate them, but it's a different taste.
What Tarantino's do
But
you
I think
like?
I think you nailed it there with that's when they went to the compound and all that in the movie.
I
Right?
like the compound scene.
I do too. I
yeah,
do too.
but that wasn't, Sharon Tate wasn't on the compound.
She wasn't there. Okay.
Yeah.
But it was really. It's a good point. That was yours.
What are your Tarantino movies you like?
My favorite one, Brownie, is the one that the girl gets in a fight.
I love these Dunaway descriptions.
She
So I
gets-
asked the
she
question.
attracted-
She loses a leg or an arm. I can't remember which one. And it's replaced by a machine gun.
That is that's another Tarantino. That is it's Rose McGowan,
Yep.
and it's
The big guy with the machete is in that one too.
Yeah, Danny Trejo.
Yeah.
I never saw that one. It's something like a Grindhouse.
yes.
Yeah. Grindhouse. That's it.
That's your favorite
That's my
Tarantino
favorite
movie?
Tarantino movie.
Have you seen
yes.
another Tarantino movie?
I'm having a hard time remembering all.
Just
but I
reel
remember
off
that
a few.
one.
Pulp Fiction, Django Unchained,
Django. Remember, I stopped because I felt it was a little
Hateful
uncomfortable.
Eight,
Yeah, it's like
Hateful Eight. I've seen. Pulp
Reservoir
Fiction,
Dogs.
Reservoir Dogs. I like that a
Inglourious
lot.
I think
Bastards.
Inglourious Bastards, Reservoir Dogs, and Django are the only ones I've watched start to finish. I've actually finished from Tarantino.
I think my favorite is probably Once Upon a Time. Then I would go Pulp Fiction. Then I would probably go Django.
So we used to
then
have
Reservoir Dogs.
a coworker that you guys will remember, a guy named George Rivers, who was an incredibly nice guy.
Always wore a bandana.
Always wore a bandana.
Is he
on
still
his
with
head.
us?
I
No.
have no earthly idea.
No, he's not.
Oh, did George pass?
I figured
passed away.
He had bad diabetes. And
Yeah, he
stuff
was
like
in the hospital for
Yeah,
a little bit.
I
But
think he passed
George,
years ago.
George was a really, really nice guy. He was an interesting cat, but he was a nice guy. And I remember one time we were having a discussion about Tarantino, and I told him I just didn't like Tarantino movies, and he was blown away by that. Like, it's similar to Lance's response when I say that, but he was like, "Have you ever seen Reservoir Dogs?" And I was like, "Nah, I'm not watching that one." He goes, "Listen, all I'll say is, if you don't like his movies, you'll like Reservoir. If you don't like Reservoir Dogs, you won't like any of his movies. You got to go watch that one." So I go and watch Reservoir Dogs, and I gave it the whole movie, and I thought it was okay. It was just okay.
Was Justin? Don't laugh.
Oh, God.
Justin Timberlake.
Was
and-
Justin Timberlake in Reservoir Dogs?
no.
That's another movie. Yeah, of course he was.
Don't you not
he
laugh.
was the
Don't
lead.
laugh.
He was the lead female. That's another.
I think Reservoir Dogs Dunaway was made.
Justin Timberlake's balls hadn't dropped. At that
What was
point.
that? Was that shot
He was-
92, 93?
Yeah, and early '90s. I think it was '92.
Yeah.
And Timberlake wasn't even part of the Mickey Mouse Club. at all.
Justin Timberlake in Reservoir Dogs?
There is a movie
That's as bad as the sci-fi
with
where
Justin Timberlake.
Alpha Dog.
Alpha Dog,
I
yes.
mean, based on a true story, which
I get those
wasn't-
confused,
Which
Reservoir.
another movie that could have been better done the right
That's
way.
another Timberlake movie. Was it About Time with him and Amanda Seyfried?
I never saw it.
Where you have a wristband that shows how much time you have left in your life,
and you can buy time,
sell it.
sell
yeah,
time.
you can sell time. Like, I'm going to give. She's about to die. I'm going to give you 3 of my days, and like that's a cool concept. But it's Justin Timberlake and Amanda Seyfried.
I didn't really like that movie, but there's a scene where the guy's at the bar and all these girls are hanging all over him because he's got like 35 years of time. So that was like the sign of wealth in that movie. I don't know if you remember that scene.
It was a good concept, but just poorly executed.
Yeah.
I think it was called About Time.
He's got 35 years
So
of
can
life.
you go to somebody, put a gun to their head, and say, "Give me some
Yeah,
time"?
people rob you all the time. Like
Time became currency.
Yeah.
That was the whole movie, was the time you have left on Earth became your currency.
Interesting. I have a couple
I'd
that I
hate
haven't.
that. I'd hate that.
I haven't
yeah.
seen.
I didn't like the movie.
I'm bad with money.
It's
I'd
a
be
decent,
bad with time. then.
Yeah, it's a decent concept. I feel like Dunaway's counting up votes.
But you have this but you look at.
It's just, it's just
I mean, you should literally have a big indigo light that says like 14 years. Like, damn, I got to get my shit together.
I mean, the waitress at Waffle House would be telling me a story, and I'd be like, okay, here's
Let's
two
go,
more
let's go,
years.
let's go.
I'm going to
Yeah.
tip you 7 seconds. There you go.
that's exactly how it would work, and the time was currency then.
So there's 2 films out there that apparently were great books that I didn't go see because I heard they were so bad. And the first one was The Dark Tower, Stephen King.
I never, because it's like 15 books. It's this whole series, and it is one of the most.
But McConaughey
yeah.
and Idris Elba were in it. I mean, great cast.
They're going to try to make it a franchise, but it failed so miserably they just abandoned it after that.
Yeah,
one
but I heard
movie.
it was such a good concept, and maybe it's too
It's
entangled.
Matthew McConaughey. Did you ever read The Stand or see The Stand? Matthew McConaughey. That character is the character. He's the devil from The Stand.
Okay.
It's the same character. It's like the Walking
Well,
Dead.
seeing The Stand would be incredible too, but it's only been done in miniseries, and it's just, I don't know why you can't make, and I know you would hate this, an 8-hour movie.
Oh my
And you
gosh.
could just watch it when you want to watch
It
it.
would never be in the theaters, you're saying.
Yeah,
No,
or
the
you
Hateful-
could just do a Netflix, like...
Netflix has The Hateful Eight. The Quentin Tarantino version is like 6 hours. Like it's like
Are
the
you
The
kidding
Hateful
me?
Eight. It's like a huge what he originally intended. I think it's still on Netflix. Like
Oh,
it's
I haven't
long.
seen that.
But
I
don't
need
you
to
feel
see
like
that.
we have 8-hour movies now with like a season of
Yeah.
Succession,
Yeah.
right? Succession.
Yeah,
And
it's basically 10 hours.
That's basically a 10-hour movie.
Yeah, so I don't know why you couldn't do that or break it up, but The Stand was another one of these that supposed to be one of the greatest books of all time.
It's a really good book. It's just hard to make. Paramount tried to do it recently.
But I've
And it
also
wasn't good.
heard Girl on a Train was an incredible book.
Terrible movie.
It's
One
See,
of
I've
the
never
worst
seen it,
movies I've
but
seen.
I don't know how you can mess up a concept, because I've heard the concept of Girl on a Train.
Yeah,
and how can you mess it up that bad in the book?
I don't know. I mean, it's just. And Gone Girl was a book too. That was a good film.
I thought Gone Girl was good.
Did I see Girl on a Train?
I don't know. It's with Emily Blunt, and she's a huge alcoholic, and I think she sees, she's on a train every day, and she sees an
like
affair
somebody-
happening
Well,
at one of the houses.
Right.
Didn't her husband leave her or something?
Yeah.
So she on the same train driving by his house to see his domesticated life every day. It sounds pretty depressing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
And
think?
then she witnesses some kind of crime or something.
Yeah, I saw that.
But it was very very poorly done.
It really is amazing to me that you don't know the names of movies you've seen.
You don't have a very good retention.
My favorite is when he has to describe the movie he's seen so we can guess.
Like,
the
I don't
name.
think I've ever seen a movie which I couldn't tell you the title right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but see, that's
It's
important.
Russell Crowe,
It's
and he
important
plays like
to
a
you.
gladiator.
It's not important to me. I've got a small brain, and I have to remember sports things to make a living.
It's the way he does it though, like stars. Okay, it's a movie. It's got a girl in it.
Yeah.
It's like okay.
There's
that's
a
all
love.
movies.
There's a love
It's
interest.
almost like a game, right?
Yeah.
It's
It
like we're
is.
playing categories.
It's got a girl in it. and
There's
then
a love
guy.
interest.
There's a love interest.
3 words.
That guy has the gun. He
The
points
problem
it.
is he doesn't really know, even if you
I
say
don't.
the
I
title.
know. Yeah.
Like The Graduate. Oh, maybe.
I don't know. Is that so? Are
It
they?
might have been the Revenant.
Yeah.
Or The Covenant.
It's the something though. It is the something.
Oh, are we talking about something else, or are we roasting Jim?
We're roasting
Jim.
Jim.
Okay.
It's the Mystery Fifth Hour presented by McCurry
Please
Van
welcome
Car
up
Rental.
Rob Lowe. Rob, come roast Jim.
Mine, I got 2. My first one is, and again, much like Tarantino, I'm not a big Oliver Stone fan. If you were going to do a movie about JFK, Oliver Stone was the worst person to do it, I think.
Well, because he
buys into so many every movie he does is about a conspiracy.
And that's probably, he's going to overcomplicate because he believes so many different things were involved in that conspiracy.
And I'm not the biggest Kevin Costner fan either. I thought he was badly miscast, but only because he had to do that bad Southern accent.
It's like DiCaprio. DiCaprio is a great actor, terrible at accents.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah, but I mean, who would you want to do the film except someone who believes in conspiracies? Because without conspiracies, there's nothing to do.
Well, I've got a theme in mind, though. Go ahead.
I get a ghostwriter or somebody to help me out with the screenplay to keep it a little bit on the tracks.
Like, I mean, I think if Spielberg set out to do a movie about the JFK assassination, it'd be fantastic. You don't think Spielberg could have done that?
Would you want a movie about the assassination or the trial or like all that stuff?
Well, see,
what JFK was.
I think the assassination would be more interesting.
Yeah,
than
like
the trial.
leading up to the
because of
assassination.
conspiracies, though.
Well, I mean, it's going to be difficult to present. Like, there's one that's about to come out as we tape this that is going to be done from the mob.
Oh.
No. From the basically. Now, I don't know that it's from their point of view, but it is basically going to tie the outfit, which is the mob in Chicago. It's going to tie them into
The killing
of JFK.
Wow.
Which a lot of people believe that's who did
Sam
it.
Giancano, right?
Yeah, a lot of people believe that's the one that
That's who my dad always said it was when I was growing up.
it was the outfit, the Chicago mob.
That it was the mob killed him.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, they got offered. I mean, it's on record. The mob and the FBI conspired to have Fidel Castro killed.
Yeah.
And remember, they were going to like poison him or something, and it got out or something. And so, like, you don't put it past the mob or the FBI to conspire in anything.
But that being said, I always thought the mob was more upstanding than to knock off the president of the United States, though. You know what I mean? They did violate a lot of laws.
So you would say that would
would have
their
been
code?
outside. Yeah, that would have been outside their code. I always felt.
Oh, I think if it affected their livelihood, if they had a president in their pocket, so to speak, I think they would do it.
What was the thought behind why the mob wanted him dead, wanted JFK dead? Did it have something to do with the labor unions?
Probably.
I think there was some sort of tie-in with the labor unions that that they wanted JFK dead because of that.
Speaking of the mob, Black Mass, I was so excited about Whitey Bulger.
It was not as good, was it?
Oh, no, and I thought I didn't like Johnny Depp as Whitey Bulger. I just thought it was kind of cheesy. And Whitey Bulger is such a great story because I read his biography and man, that guy was a sociopath, but such an interesting and the longevity of his career.
Yeah. One more, and sometimes you get like if you don't like a war movie, I think sometimes people are like, oh, how can you disrespect a war movie? Just because it's a war movie doesn't mean they're all done perfectly. But
Battlefield Earth.
no.
Oh.
Black Hawk Down is an incredible story. Did you watch the movie?
I love the movie.
Did you really? I didn't like the movie at all.
Loved it, and I thought Josh Hartnett was actually good. Ridley Scott was the director. I thought it was great.
I did not like
Eric
Black Hawk
Bana.
Down because I thought the way Black Hawk Down was shot, I think they intentionally, see if you agree with this though, they intentionally shot it to create the fog of war and like the confusion.
They did, yeah.
But which is
Chaotic filmmaking.
which is the way it was in real life, obviously. But to me, it was almost so chaotic, I couldn't keep up with it. Like I couldn't figure out everything that was going on and all right, where am I now and all of that.
That makes me uncomfortable when that's happening.
Have you ever watched Black Hawk Down? You would not like it then.
I get a little disoriented sometimes.
Oh, it is a very disorienting movie.
Like TV show, not a movie, but Man in the High Castle. Sometimes the last year I got
it's
so
purposely
confused
confusing though.
that I was anxious when I stopped watching an episode. I was like, shit, what I just watched?
You as much as you struggle with like motion sickness, I'm surprised you could watch that movie.
It didn't bother me, and I saw it at the theater. I've got it on DVD, by the way.
Well, that's stunning.
Do you?
Yeah. Did you see Black Hawk Down?
The thing I'm thinking about, the one scene I did, but I can't remember a lot. The one scene I remember is the one soldier that's just a soul-crushing scene. He's got a picture of his family, and they're attacking the hell out of him, like beating his ass, and he's trying to hold on to the picture of him and his family. I'm like, my God.
Oh, it's a tough movie.
Yeah.
I'd have to say Ridley Scott. I'm not sure I like his movies either. Well, there are a lot of movies. There are a lot of
Did you
directors.
not like Gladiator?
I did. I just mean
What
as
about
a whole.
Alien?
Alien was
I've
good.
never seen Alien.
Oh, shit.
Thing pops out of her stomach.
He.
Yeah.
He.
Whatever. Out of his stomach.
It's
I'm right, though. I got that one right.
You did get that one right.
it's William Hurt or John Hurt. William Hurt.
Underwater, hear it tapping on the pipes.
That's the Abyss.
Yeah, that's the
Abyss.
Abyss.
Okay.
Who did that?
That was James Cameron.
Yeah. Have you seen the James Cameron
Who
film?
ironically did Aliens,
Yeah.
the follow-up to Aliens.
Have you seen the James Cameron film? So they're on a big boat and it's going from
Titanic.
There you go.
Titanic.
Yeah, you got it, Dunaway.
He did Aquaman and Entourage.
I bet your favorite scene in Titanic, the scene you hate the most in Titanic, is the old couple in bed together sinking.
I don't hate that. I think it's a loving gesture, a good way
I
to
bet your
end.
favorite scene is the love scene in the car under the ship.
No, favorite scene is Paint Me Like Your French Girls. 2 reasons why. It's a great line. And 2, a little boob action.
I love a little boob action.
Kate Winslet, she wasn't afraid to show the rascals back.
She was not. She was not. You're right about that.
She was
funny
on
thing-
another movie.
Yeah, the one of the
her on the washer,
washer
holding
machine.
onto the pipes in the
Children
basement.
of Men.
No, it's called Little Children.
Little Children, that's right.
Mayor of Easttown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not that.
But I was watching the original King's Comedy the other night. If you've never seen that before, it's my favorite Spike Lee piece, and it's Steve Harvey, it's D.L. Hughley, it's Cedric the Entertainer, and Bernie Mac.
Bernie
and
Mac.
it's when they were on tour and they stop in Charlotte. It is hilarious. It's about 25 years old now. But Steve Harvey does a bit on Titanic, and he's like, black people ain't watching a 3-hour movie. He's like, shit, sink that ship already. And he's like, and the band's playing until we go down. He's like, Kool and the Gang would have been like ripping out the amplifiers and getting the hell out of there.
Cool in the game.
So you're telling me that your people in your life don't start off by telling you, hey, we're going to watch a new series right now. I'll tell you up front, there's no boobs, no nudity. Maggie literally has to say, hey, we're going to watch this series, and there's no...
There's no
No.
nudity, and
Yeah.
you say, okay, I'll be asleep over here.
So we just finished, we're finishing up the final year of the incredible Miss Maisel.
Okay,
It's almost over. Marvelous Miss Maisel.
right. Also incredible.
She shows her boob at the end of episode 1.
And that got
Right.
you all baited in.
Maggie
didn't
told
it?
me there's brief nudity, and
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. So I
I
watched
like how
episode
she has
1.
to research it.
So she never says anything else the rest of the way. That's the only nudity in it. One flash of her left boob, and the rest of it we're going to finish with not one other piece of nudity. And I told her the other day, I said, you suckered me into this whole
I
series
don't
with
see,
one
outside
boob.
of teenage boys, I don't see who, like,
I know.
I don't-
the
Only Dunaway.
gratuitous stuff. Like, 2 of my favorite shows in my top 3, Succession, I never saw Ted.
There's not one.
And I
Really?
saw
There was never a
There's
boob
no
in it?
nudity in Succession.
one rack in Breaking Bad, and it was, and I don't even think it was the AMC version. I think it was more the Netflix when
It was season 1 where the
when
girl
Aaron
jumps
Paul,
out of the...
Jesse Pinkman's jumping out, and the chick looks out the window. But that was it.
I remember.
I don't need it.
Well, I
Probably
just
why I
remember.
died
By the way,
off.
porn is free.
By the way, before I don't like porn. I like it to have a story.
Porn has stories. They're a little poorly written.
Are you the one though that when they show the warnings at the top, if it says brief nudity and not just nudity, you're like, oh man.
No. Brief nudity.
One of the best-
You want
I'm
the
okay
B
with brief nudity.
One of the
Okay,
best
fine.
things was Louis C.K. had a sitcom. It was awful, but it was on HBO called Lucky Louie. And one of the last episodes, his girlfriend or wife was played by the girl. I can't remember her name. She's a cute girl. They play husband and wife, and it says at the last episode, it says has nudity. So you're like, oh, you're gonna see so and so naked this time. And they have a part where she's already in bed. You can tell she's naked in bed, and he's coming in, and he says something like, tries to hit on her, everything, and she's like, "Fine, Lou, let's just do it." So he gets excited. Louis strips down. You see him full naked. That was his old switcheroo because people were so
Wow.
excited.
Oh,
like,
that was the nudity.
because
Yeah.
like the brief nudity, like, oh my god, and it's him.
It's
Like
all
he
Louis.
goes full frontal. You're like, oh my god.
Oh wow. All right, that is the Mystery Fifth Hour. It's presented by McCurry Van Car Rental. If you need a car, van, or truck, rent from McCurry. They're the rental company that you can depend on. They got all kinds of vehicles to choose from. That includes trucks, SUVs, and passenger vans. They make it easy to rent. They get you in and out fast. They got locations in Athens, Muscle Shoals, Huntsville, and Coleman on 2nd Avenue Northwest. Call and reserve your rental today, 256-559-1003. That's 256-559-1003 or McCurryRentals.com. That's McCurryRentals.com. Please give us a thumbs up as you're watching us on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, set alerts, and follow us on all social media at Next Round Live. Thank you for joining us for the Mystery Fifth Hour.